Welcome to the Sports Watchdog Radio Show, hosted by Mason Kern. He keeps his nose to the ground to report on what's trending in professional and college sports, to inform, enlighten, and entertain. And now it's
the Sports Watchdog.
the Sports Watchdog, Mason Kern.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Sports Watchdog Radio Show on NBC Sports Radio, AM 1060 Phoenix. I'm Mason Kern here with you every Sunday from 7:30 to 8 a.m. And I'm obviously certainly glad you decided to join me this morning. And as always, I do have some great stuff in my kennel. Today we'll be hearing from decorated powerlifter Robert Herbst, as well as former NFL DB Vernon Kearney. I'll also be covering some sports hot topics, and for you basketball-specific fans, interesting happenings on the hardwood. Now, as I said, we're going to get started into sports hot topics this week, but I'm not going to spend too much time on this section. We have a jam-packed show for you guys with interviews, like I mentioned before, and lots of basketball talk as the NBA draft was earlier this week. But I do want to divulge into a little World Cup news. Obviously, we are in the midst of the biggest tournament in international soccer in the world. Only happens once every 4 years. And really, guys, I'm going to get into the Cristiano Ronaldo versus Lionel Messi debate. Obviously, for the last decade, it seems like people have been debating as to who of these two players is the best. And now, all bias aside, we're just going to take a look at World Cup standings and their performances so far. So, obviously, Cristiano Ronaldo, representing Portugal, has had a lot more international success than Messi. And Messi has taken a lot of heat for this throughout his career because obviously he's had so much success in Europe with FC Barcelona, with all the trophies there and all of his success. But if you look at the international success, Messi really has not had that. That's the one thing that's eluded him throughout his entire career, save for one gold medal at the 2008 Olympics for Argentina. But, I mean, a lot of football fans would really be quick to dismiss that tournament for various reasons. So, when you look at it, if that's the only kind of real accolade that Messi has, Ronaldo, on the other hand, has done a lot more, at least for his country. And, I mean, both players, for one, Ronaldo for Real Madrid, and then Messi for Barcelona, have done so much. I mean, Ronaldo just led Real Madrid to the Champions League tournament victory for the third straight time with Real Madrid. So, I mean, both of these players have had a lot of club success, but internationally, for some reason, Messi has not been able to lead Argentina to that promised land. They were World Cup runner-ups in 2014, and I mean, they dropped the first two games with really disappointing results in the group stage of the 2018 World Cup here in Russia. And when you think about it, I mean, Messi, if you consider him the best player in the world, or one of the best of all time, the GOAT, how can you consider him that if he hasn't led his team to much international success? I mean, granted, Ronaldo maybe hasn't done as much either, but still seems to have done more than Messi, at least in the stats and the facts. Now, in 2016, I'm sure you guys remember, Messi retired from international football because he said, I don't want to play anymore after they lost to Chile on penalty kicks at the Copa America Centenario. Messi called it quits. So there's been a lot of turmoil for Messi in Argentina. Ronaldo with Portugal, I mean, he's had a great campaign so far, 4 goals in his first 2 games in the World Cup. And so, I mean, when you look at it, who's the GOAT? I mean, it's like basketball, which we're going to talk about a little later, not exactly this debate. LeBron, Michael, Kobe, and then Bill Russell, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I mean, so many great players. But, I mean, when you boil it down, Pele, Messi, Ronaldo, who is the best? Can't answer all those questions here on the Sports Watchdog Radio Show. But let me know what you think, who you think is the best footballer of all time on social media at @SportsWatchdog on Twitter and at The Sports Watchdog on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube as well. All right, guys, don't go anywhere. The Sports Watchdog Radio Show will be right back after this quick break.
If you're ready for a boast-worthy staycation, the AAA Four Diamond Hermosa Inn, located in Scottsdale's Paradise Valley, is for you. This luxury hotel offers authentic Arizona character and charm. Its 43 newly renovated casitas are nestled in a garden setting with breathtaking views of the lush desert and Camelback Mountain. Most accommodations include deep soaking tubs, beehive fireplaces, and private patios. Other property features include a lively bar and communal seating areas, on-site painting classes, free-use beach cruisers, seasonal poolside yoga, hot tub facilities, a business suite, and dining to die for. The Hermosa Inn is an ideal locale for small group getaways, from weddings, intimate family vacations, and bachelorette weekends, even golf outings, board meetings, and executive retreats. And its award-winning on-site restaurant, Lawns, is renowned for globally inspired Arizona fare, complemented by a subterranean wine cellar. You can see amazing photos of this and much more at hermosainn.com. That's hermosainn.com.
Hey there, everybody. You're listening to the Sports Watchdog Radio Show on NBC Sports Radio AM 1060. I'm your host, Mason Kern, and joining us now is Robert Herbst, 19-time World Powerlifting Champion and Strength Sports Hall of Famer and Olympics drug testing official. Robert is an internationally known expert on fitness, wellness, weight loss, and drug-free sport. As a powerlifter, he has won 33 United States national championships and set 38 world records. He was a semifinalist for the 2013 Sullivan Award given to the nation's outstanding amateur athlete and is a member of the AAU Strength Sports Hall of Fame. He is quoted frequently in national publications such as Men's Fitness, Prevention, Reader's Digest, and Women's Health as well. A New York attorney, he supervised the drug testing at the 2016 Rio Olympics and helped to manage the wrestling venue at the 2012 London Olympics. So Robert is here today to share some info on his powerlifting past and give us a deeper look into Olympic drug testing as a whole. So with all of that, hey Robert, welcome to the Sports Watchdog Radio Show. So glad you could join us today.
Well, thank you very much. I'm very happy to be there, or be here.
Yeah, thank you so much again for taking the time. So to start off, Robert, like I said, you did supervise the drug testing at the 2016 Rio Olympics. So can you give us and describe in more detail really what your role was there?
I mean, I'll give you a concrete example. There was a young super flyweight, 105 pounds, from Uzbekistan, I believe, and he won the gold medal, and he's leaving the ring, and I go up to his interpreter and tell him, you know, he's mine, basically. I mean, the interpreter, everybody knows what's going on. But meanwhile, he's going backstage, and it's total euphoria because he was the first gold medalist in years from his country, and people were coming out of the woodwork.
Sure.
And, you know, I mean, all these Eastern Europeans, you know, in Eastern European custom, you know, were kissing each other on the lips, congratulating each other. And meanwhile, you know, I was watching the production guys, and they're all getting nervous because this guy's got to go to the medal ceremony. And, you know, the TV people are kind of worried. And I know, and so I immediately make like a scissors motion with my fingers to my wrists, and the doctors grab him, and they start, you know, they cut off his hand wraps, and then I point to his face, and then he's got a mouse, and they start putting ice on him. And meanwhile, more people are like kissing and hugging, and you know, we tell them tracksuit, which is kind of the European term for your warm-ups, because you've seen them all in the medal ceremony. They have to wear their, you know, the warm-up outfit. So then we drag him over to the medal ceremony lineup, and it's actually, like I said, this is a fantastic experience if you like sport, because I'm in the lineup for the medal ceremony, myself and the chaperone for the silver medalist. You know, and we line up. There's the pretty girls in the, you know, carrying the medals. There's the soldiers with the flags. There's the athletes, and there's me and the other chaperone. And suddenly, the curtain parts. There's this giant burst of music, and everybody marches out. Except me and the chaperone have to peel off and get out of the camera shot. And the directors are always nervous about that. And I tell the directors, I'll stand behind you. If you're not in the shot, then I'm not in the shot. And they're relieved. But we still have to watch the athletes. They have to stay within our view because theoretically they could still run for the hills. Although at this stage of their careers, it's not likely. They've all been tested before and know what's going on.
Of course, yeah.
So we do the ceremony, the anthems and the flags, and then we start walking out, and there's this mixed zone where there's media, and people start, stuffing mics in front of his face, and because it's 4 a.m. in Uzbekistan, and the country's been waiting up, to hear what happened, and they start asking him questions, and then he gets through that, and then we go to a formal press conference where there's he had beaten a Colombian, so there's a Spanish interpreter, an Uzbeki interpreter. The two of them are on the dais with their interpreters and their coaches. I get a special seat with the other chaperone just out of camera shot again, and we're watching the whole thing, and then we wait through the press conference, and then I'm trying to get the guy to go back now to the drug testing area, and we get a call that the premier of Uzbekistan wants to meet him. And I go, okay, great, but we're not leaving the Olympic Village. We're not going on a frolic into downtown Rio. And I said, no, it's going to be here. So we all go to the security gate, and all the security guards are there, these paratroopers with machine guns and grenades hanging off of them, and then all the contractors in black who are all these mercenaries. And there's all huge guys, and this guy's 105 pounds, and he's got the gold medal around his neck, and it becomes a festival. All these soldiers and security guys want to have pictures taken with him, so before even the premiere. So here's this little guy. He's like 5'1", wearing his gold medal. He's surrounded by all these giant paratroopers and mercenaries, with who know 20 different ways to hurt you, and they're all machine guns and grenades, and they're all posing with him. It's hilarious. And then when it all finally ends, we do get him back to the drug testing area, and so you have to use a little discretion. I wasn't going to rain on this guy's parade. It's probably the greatest moment of his life, but it's still, rules have to be followed and things have to be observed. So.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's a pretty incredible story, to say the least. I mean, you've been, through this experience, stories like that, I'm sure are not very few and far between. I'm sure there's plenty of good ones just like that. And you mentioned how important kind of drug testing is in terms of sports. So why do you feel that is? There's a lot of people who, in today's games, for example, baseball, are saying, okay, let's just let all the players dope up, make it more exciting, let's see more home runs, and then it's an even playing field that way. So then why do you feel as if drug testing is still, no, it shouldn't be happening, this is not fair at all in today's version of sports? Why do you feel that is, and why do you feel that that's not the route that sports should be taking?
Well, there's several reasons. One is, and maybe it's more important at the Olympic level than on the Major League Baseball level, and that is, candidly, not everyone has the same access to the same quality of drugs. I know that's a really cynical thing to say, but if you're in the MLB and you're all making, a rookie contract of whatever, $250 or $450, and if it's sanctioned in the MLB, then the teams will be in on it. They're going to get the best and brightest. They're going to get the best drugs available. So everyone's kind of going to be on a level playing field. In the amateur sport world, and it's not really amateur because a lot of them are professionals and get paid, but in the Olympic sport world, not everyone has the same access to that. Someone with Soviet or former Soviet scientists or Russian scientists behind them or American scientists who can pay top dollar, we have an advantage over someone from, say, India or Africa in getting the latest, greatest invention that makes you perform. Perhaps a more fundamental reason, though, is it's been found again and again that a lot of these performance-enhancing drugs are bad for you, that there are real health costs with them. Just being a power lifter myself and being in gyms in America, I personally know people who have had heart attacks in their 30s. I know people who've had kidney failure, and it's directly attributable to taking, steroids, especially in an unsupervised manner. And they did a study a long time ago. It's a famous study. It came out I think in the 80s or 90s. And they asked world-class athletes, if we could give you a drug that would guarantee that you would win an Olympic gold medal, but you die 10 years later, would you take the drug? And a huge majority of athletes said yes. And I think one of the reasons behind that is when you're young and an athlete, you think you're immortal. So they figure, let me win the medal and then I'll deal with it, or I'll figure out a way then to not die from the drug. And I think if you made drugs legal, it would be like the Wild West. People would just be taking everything in sight, and they could do serious damage to themselves. I mean, I just see it. I've seen it in local gyms, like I said, in America. If 5 milligrams works, well, then 10 milligrams may be better. Or if I'm taking chemical X, well, let me take chemical Y as well. And load it up. And that's why you've even seen, when some of these over-the-counter supplements come out, football players are dying, or high school football players are dying, because they wind up taking things that they're either too much or that nobody knows about, or that's not right for their system. So the best thing to do, if you really want a level playing field and a safe playing field, because sports is supposed to be good for you. It's supposed to be, even at the highest levels, it's supposed to be a sport or a game. Baseball is a game, don't forget. You have to play for fun, even though it's money and whatever, but you shouldn't be risking your life, and everyone should have the same advantages. And drug testing helps to ensure that.
Yeah, definitely a lot to think about for sure in terms of where sports is going. Robert, we're running out of time here, so where can our listeners go to get more info or just to connect with you?
Oh, sure. I would be happy to correspond with lifters or anything like that. I have a website. It's weightlifterusa.com, but it's spelled W and then the number 8 and then LIFTER USA.com. Weightlifterusa.com. I'm also on LinkedIn, Robert Herbst, HERBST, or Facebook. Be happy to talk to any listeners about the sport and drug testing, or even their own fitness and exercise.
Well, make sure to hit them up on those platforms, everyone. Thank you so much again, Robert. All right, everyone, the Sports Watchdog Radio Show on NBC Sports Radio and 1060 will be right back after this short break.
Are you a girl who lives for travel? Are you a lady who loves adventure and fabulous vacations? Then check out the SuitcaseLifeStore.com, where you'll find all kinds of chic travel accessories, plus fashion, tech, kitchenware, office gear, and more, showcasing your joy for journeying. From travel bags and tags to fashion to mugs, mouse pads, and much in between, the SuitcaseLifeStore.com has you covered in fabulous form. The SuitcaseLifeStore.com, for gals who travel, explore, shop, eat, and repeat.
Hey there, and welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Watchdog Radio Show, and I'm your host, Mason Kern. Next, we'll be chatting with a really interesting guest. We have former NFL defensive back Vernon Kearney on the line. Vernon attended Lane College, and with grit and perseverance after going undrafted, he took it upon himself to land his first NFL roster position in 2013 with the Buffalo Bills. Throughout his NFL career, Vernon also made appearances with the Cleveland Browns, Kansas City Chiefs, and the Oakland Raiders before moving on from league play in 2015. So Vernon is here to share some insight about life during and after the NFL, and also share some success strategies he picked up throughout his journey. Hey, Vernon, welcome to the show.
How you doing, man? Thanks for having me.
I'm good. Thank you for asking. Yeah, once again, thanks for taking the time. So first off, what led you to push past what many would deem as an impenetrable barrier and pursue a career in the NFL even after going undrafted? How did you stay motivated and tenacious enough to pursue that goal?
Well, really, man, just noticing the guys that made it. I knew a couple guys from my area, and I didn't see too much difference between myself and them. It all boils down to perseverance, like you said, believing that I can do it and not listening to the naysayers is what really pushed me forward.
Yeah, definitely incredible story. I know that it is very hard to make it to the NFL, and for you to have that grit and that perseverance is really commendable. Now, obviously, like most things in life, achieving career goals is a process, and as I'm sure you can attest to. So can you describe what having an NFL career in particular entails?
Well, yeah, you have to be a professional, not like college where you have something scripted out for you. When you get to the NFL, pretty much practice is done by before the afternoon. So the rest of the day, it's up to you to be a pro and keep track of everything that you need to do, from taking care of your body, making sure you're eating the right foods. There's no one there to really, basically hold your hand. So it's a lot that goes into it. Also studying your playbook, making sure you're up to par with what's going on. Me, myself, I was on the practice squad. I learned a lot of valuable things, and my hard work ethic is really what helped me stay around for as long as I did.
Yeah, and like I said before, that work ethic kind of getting you to the league in the first place, extremely commendable. And after finally making it into the league, cracking that practice squad and then the roster spot, what is the mindset like in and out of the NFL locker room, both within yourself and then even towards you from other players who might not know you as well? What's the mindset in the locker room?
The mindset in every team that I've been on, we're all there for a common goal. Everyone wants to win, from the coaches to the equipment crew to your strength conditioning coaches. Everyone believes in what's going on in that organization. Whatever their motto is, that's what they live by. And everybody's just there to help. You got great guys around you to push you. There's really no excuse not to be great. Like I say, you have to take it upon yourself just to push yourself and meet the requirements. Greatness is worshipped in the league, and that's just how it is. I mean, there's no sugarcoating anything. Everything is pretty much black and white. It's a business. Nothing's personal. Business is never personal. You got to learn how to take an L and just keep moving, whatever it may be.
Definitely, yeah, and I think those are some great values that sports really teaches athletes from a young age, even not just professionally. But now,
exactly.
You mentioned, yeah, exactly, and you mentioned now you're kind of back in society, as you said. So what exactly have you been up to since your last time on an NFL roster?
Oh, man, well, I'm a personal trainer right now, and then on the weekends I do speed and conditioning, trying to give back everything that I learned from the places I've been and the experiences that I've had, trying to instill that back into these younger men that want to learn, that want to gain knowledge. It's not my duty to keep all that stuff bottled in, so I'm just trying to help out.
Well, that's awesome. I definitely think it's extremely commendable of you to do that. And now, Vernon, I want to kind of shift over to this past NFL season, given all the drama and controversy that the NFL experienced of late with national anthem protests, president's comments. Do you have any hopes or predictions for the next season ahead? What's your opinions on all those controversies from this year?
I mean, well, I feel like people are always going to have disagreements. It boils down to preference. You're going to be upset about what you believe in, and the other person might think different. I feel like the league will continue to adapt. I hope that everyone comes together and meets at a happy medium. That way the fans can get what they want. People get the entertainment that they want. And just keep it focused on football and not get too caught up in politics. That's not our job to get caught up in politics. It's more so about the football and what's going on. And like I say, it's life lessons that you learn in that. But you can't get upset with people for believing what they believe in. I stand by the players that took a knee. That's what they believed in. They felt strong about that, which I do myself. You got to stand for something, or you'll fall for everything. So you can't get upset with people for having an opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course. And Vernon, thank you so much for your time. Awesome insights. Definitely our listeners appreciated it. Where can they go to learn more and kind of keep up with you?
I do have a Facebook. Anybody wants to just request me on Facebook. My full name, Vernon Kearney. And that's pretty much it for now.
Well, Vernon, thank you so much again for your time. All right, everyone. The Sports Watchdog Radio Show will be right back after this short break.
Want to take your decor to another level? Consider Jellyfish Art, a leading supplier of live jellyfish and their specialized ornamental aquariums and products. This includes Jellyfish Cylinder Nano, an all-inclusive kit with 3 sustainably aquacultured live moon jellyfish and everything needed to start. Also great as a gift, they're an exciting light and life source enhancing any space, living rooms, bedrooms, offices, or anywhere. Learn more at jellyfishart.com.
You ready to hoop it up? This is Happenings on the Hardwood.
All right, everyone. As always, the end of the Sports Watchdog Radio Show here on NBC Sports Radio, AM 1060 Phoenix. We're going to pivot on over to the hardwood and talk some basketball. Yes, the time has come. The NBA draft has happened. And now we look toward Summer League. Obviously, the NBA draft, very exciting time in the league. And this draft did not disappoint in my opinion. I mean, the Suns had their first pick in the NBA draft, first overall pick for the first time in 51 years franchise history, and fans were saying, Ayton, Doncic, Bagley, we need one of these guys. Don't mess it up, Ryan McDonough. We need one of these guys. A majority of people wanted Ayton, but there was some arguments for Doncic and even Bagley as well. But the Suns decide to go DeAndre Ayton, the center out of the University of Arizona, homeboy out of the Bahamas, who has played his high school and college days here in Arizona. He's staying home, guys. He's staying home, playing for the Phoenix Suns, and this might be a turn for the Suns, especially considering they had the worst record in the league last year. I mean, Ayton has already said that him alongside Devin Booker is going to be like Kobe and Shaq 2.0. And then you throw Josh Jackson into the mix. I mean, this could be a very nice young core for the Suns. See some more success in the future. And that wasn't the only noise the Suns made. They did trade their number 16 pick, as well as a 2021 first-round pick from Miami, to the Philadelphia 76ers in exchange for the number 10 pick in the 2018 NBA draft, which happened to be for Mikal Bridges. So they get another nice defensive 3-and-D asset who will really complement alongside Josh Jackson, who really stepped it up in the latter half of the 2017-18 season. Really looking forward to what those two in DeAndre Ayton and Mikal Bridges bring to this young Phoenix core. I mean, obviously going to be a huge jump from the college game to the NBA, but I think this Suns game plan is really going to benefit them in the long run. And they also did have the number 31 pick, first pick in the second round. They go with Elie Okobo, the guard out of France. And a lot of people really liked that pick. I'm excited to see what he can do. He could possibly be the Suns' number one starting point guard at the beginning of the year. I mean, obviously going to have some competition with Elfrid Payton. And, I mean, depending on how Summer League goes and how fast his development is, we could see Elie Okobo starting, maybe not right away, but possibly a little bit down the line, even before the All-Star break. So that is something very interesting that you can see. And then they brought in Gary King with the 59th pick. So the Suns made a lot of noise in this year's draft, and I think that overall, they did very well. I mean, you get Ayton, who the number one overall prospect in many people's eyes. And then you get Mikal Bridges, that another lottery pick. So you get 2 lottery picks in the same draft. That's a big deal. Looking towards the other kind of interesting factoids from the night, I mean, there was a lot of trades. The Atlanta Hawks had the 3rd pick, and Dallas Mavericks had the 5th pick. They swapped them, so Dallas traded up to the 3rd pick to get their guy in Luka Doncic, because Marvin Bagley III went to the Sacramento Kings with the 2nd overall pick in the 2018 NBA draft. So now you have Dallas trading up to number 3 from number 5 to get Luka Doncic, and then Atlanta trades down from number 3 to number 5. They get Trae Young at number 5, which kind of not boggled a lot of people's minds, but was a little surprising because people had Trae Young going possibly 8 to the Cavaliers. But Trae Young goes 5 to the Hawks, and the Hawks do get a future first-round pick from the Mavericks as well in that deal. And then, like I said, the Suns trade went through, and there were some other minor moves. Some other notable teams, the Cleveland Cavaliers, this year's finals runner-ups, got Colin Sexton at number 8. And the Philadelphia 76ers, who had the number 10 pick, did trade that pick to the Suns, moving down to number 16. And the Los Angeles Lakers at number 25, which is originally Cleveland's, got Moritz Wagner out of the University of Michigan. And Mo led the Wolverines to the NCAA championship match, obviously falling in that to Villanova. But, I mean, some big names, guys, did go undrafted. LiAngelo Ball, which I don't know how big of a name in basketball that is, but a big name in entertainment. LiAngelo Ball did not get drafted, has just been informed that he will not be participating in at least the Lakers' summer team plans. Who knows if that's because of LeVar or whatnot. But, I mean, Raleigh Alkins out of the University of Arizona also not getting drafted. Some big-name players who didn't get drafted, who will likely sign summer league deals and hopefully find their name getting signed to a contract by the beginning of the season. Trey Holder did not get drafted. The Arizona State Sun Devil was projected to possibly be a very late second-round pick. Did not hear his name called, so no Sun Devils drafted. One Wildcat drafted, and he went number 1 overall. So good times here in Phoenix. Very, very promising. Let me know what you guys think about the Ayton pick and how you guys think the Suns did overall in the draft. Well, that's a wrap, everyone. Anybody wanting to connect with me, the Sports Watchdog, on Twitter can do so at @asportswatchdog, and on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube as well at the Sports Watchdog. So until next time, keep your eye on the ball.
The Sports Watchdog. The Sports Watchdog, Mason Kern.